All right, guys, I got a little bit less than 8 weeks left before my 46th birthday, which means a little bit less than 8 weeks left at the end of Project Big 2020. Just want to show you how I weigh myself. First of all, weigh yourself in the morning after you've used the bathroom, before you've eaten or drunk anything, because obviously if you weigh yourself at night, depending upon how much you've been drinking all day, how much you've been eating all day, what time you weigh yourself is going to be different. But right now, I'm basically fasted, a little bit dehydrated. This is my baseline. Another thing that's important, if you have any fat on you, okay, and I, at this point do have a little bit more fat than I want, do not wear anything tight like spandex or, like underwear here. That's really close to your, that's really close to like where your love handles are, because if it's tight and the waistband pulls in, it's going to push your like muffin top, I think the kids call it these days, out. So as you can see, I've got my underwear a little bit lower. The best way to do it is naked. And the way you do it is, first of all, you don't suck your stomach in, you don't puff your stomach out. You just stand up straight, you flex your stomach so it's flat. Because when you measure your waist, what you want is to have your the most constant measurements you can possibly have. Okay, so like I said, you want everything to be as constant as possible. So if there's a change, it's a real change. So I'm going to flex my stomach so that it's flat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tape across right at the level of my navel, as close to parallel to the ground as possible, and yeah, I got about 35 inches. All right, guys, full day of eating on the pure protein diet. I've got a little bit less than 8 weeks left, like 7.5 weeks left on Project Big 2020. I just want to lean out, probably lose like around 20 pounds. And so here's the pure protein diet for my current weight, okay? Every meal I get in about 50 grams of protein. 6 meals a day, that's about 300 grams of protein. So the only difference between the meals on the pure protein diet, I've got protein only meals, which is usually like a piece of chicken breast. Then I got protein and fat meals, which is chicken, usually with almonds added to increase the calories and the fat. And then I got like a high fat meal. So this is an example of a high fat meal. I'm going to throw in 4 whole eggs, okay, which, let's say extra large eggs are about maybe 6 grams of protein. All right, so 4 extra large eggs is about just under 25 grams of protein. But there's also a lot of fat, which means there's more calories in it. And then I'm going to add in 1 cup of liquid egg whites. I don't get crazy with that. I just go ahead and buy, a quart of egg whites. It doesn't really matter what kind. I don't actually separate the eggs. So basically, it's just going to go ahead and whip this up. Then I'm going to go ahead and spray some olive oil. Awesome, it kind of fell off. Spray some olive oil into the. Anybody know what a Cirillo reload is? Where you drop your gun and you pull your back up. So, knock the cap off of the olive oil, grab the next one. Anyway, yeah, so I just spray some olive oil into a pan, get the 4 eggs, the cup of egg whites, mix it up a little bit, pour it in, and, that's it for my first meal of the day. And as always, I got my source of potassium, which is no salt. This is a salt substitute that has potassium instead of sodium. And I've got my sodium source, which is normal sea salt. Put it on all the food that I eat when I'm cooking. And I'll probably throw on some Louisiana hot sauce. This stuff's good. This stuff, Tabasco, etc. is good. You want to find a hot sauce. It's basically nothing. It basically has no calories, no anything. And sometimes, believe it or not, they'll add sugar. So make sure when you buy your hot sauce that you actually look and specifically make sure that they don't have any sugar added to it. All right, there it is. It's my 4 eggs and 8 fluid ounces of egg whites. My first meal of the day. I'm starving right now, so what I do is I front load my fat. That means I eat fat in the morning. Okay, my first meal is usually my highest fat meal, and that satiates my appetite, makes it less likely for me to be in a bad mood, feel weak, starve, etc. Cheat on my diet. And then I alternate between fat and protein meals and just protein meals. Like if I just woke up and had pure protein, pure protein, pure protein, that would be like I'd be starving all morning. As opposed to waking up and satiating my hunger, giving me some energy with the with this higher fat meal. Now I'm going to be able to go for the rest of the day and I'll feel fine. This is actually the difference between PSMF, or protein sparing modified fasting, which is literally just protein, and the pure protein diet. The pure protein diet has enough fat that you can function, that you are not hungry, not cheating on your diet, not in a bad mood, not losing strength, etc. But it has so little fat that you're still losing weight at a rapid pace. So anyway, first meal, high fat, front load your fat, so you don't have to be starving all day. Like I said, bad mood, weak in the gym, hungry, and cheat on your diet possibly. All right, guys, I got meal 2 right now. 3 hours later, it's a little bit after 9 o'clock in the morning. The first meal held me over long enough because it was a high fat meal, and now a few hours later, okay, I just started to get hungry and I realized, hey, it's time to eat again. So that, first of all, that's something I'm going to talk about in a YouTube video I'm going to make to upload today, which is basically how often should you eat. And it has a lot to do with how much fat you're eating, okay? There are reasons why, muscle protein synthesis, growing muscle, it makes sense to eat several times a day, not just once a day or whatever. But even aside from that, the really important thing is when you're on a lower calorie, lower fat diet, I don't eat carbs anyway, if you only eat a couple times a day, you are really going to be starving all day. You're going to have low energy in the gym, you're going to be in a bad mood, you're going to quite possibly cheat on your diet because you're going to be being very, very, very hungry, and your whole quality of life, your productivity, and everything is going to go down. So when I plan out, the way I plan out diets for me and for the people I coach, and what I recommend in my courses is, you wake up in the morning, start with a high fat meal, okay? Every 3 hours you eat, okay, and you alternate in between, protein meals and proteins and fat meals. So this is going to be a protein and fat meal. I will have in the description below this video, I will have a link to a video that I did about my meal prep. But basically, I've got 4 Tupperwares a day, okay? 2 of them have chicken and almonds, 2 of them just have chicken, so those are 4 meals. I usually prepare my breakfast meal, the eggs, a couple days in advance too, so I don't have to cook. Lately, I've just been waking up and just frying the eggs like I did, in this video. But yeah, so these are 4 of my meals, and this is going to be a fat and protein meal. And when I bake it, as you'll see in the video of my meal prep, it kind of comes together. I chop up my chicken into little pieces. But when I bake it, it kind of comes together and kind of sticks together. So what I do is I just break it up with my fingers a little bit. If I'm at home and have access to a microwave, if not, I'll just just pick it up and eat it like a damn cookie or whatever, I guess. But anyway, like I said, I just go ahead and break it up, throw it in the microwave for 1 minute, and then when I'm done with that, I just eat it. And of course, I put on my potassium salt and my sodium, my sea salt, when I cook as well. So I salt it when I cook it, and then I salt it when I microwave it. So like I said, those are my potassium and my sodium sources. All right, guys, there you go. Got, like I said, my we got my fat and protein meal. It's chicken and almonds. Got some electrolytes from the potassium and sodium salt, about 50 grams of protein. So this is my 9 o'clock meal, and yeah, it's gonna hold me over for another 3 hours or so. So guten appetit. All right, guys, this is going to be meal 4. It's a little bit after 3 p.m. The thing I like about chicken is that it's you can eat it cold out of Tupperware. So like if I'm on the road like I am right now, I just pull over somewhere and I eat it. And like I said before, because I bake my chicken, it kind of like I cut it into little little cubes. But when I bake it, it kind of sticks together. So if I throw it in the microwave, I break it up before I go ahead and heat it up. But if I just eat it like this, like when I'm on the road, I eat it basically like a cookie. So. All right, so this is my 4th meal. So far, I've had eggs and egg whites, then chicken and almonds, chicken and almonds. This is just chicken, and I'm gonna have another meal at 6 with just chicken, and then I'll see you at 9 for my protein pudding and my fiber. All right, guys. Last meal of the day is another protein-only meal. It's something I call protein pudding. Okay, what it basically is it is non-fat, like 0% fat, unflavored Greek yogurt. So I put in 227 grams, and yes, I do weigh it. Okay, so I just put the whole bowl right on the scale and I weigh it. So I put in 227 grams of yogurt, and then I mix in some whey protein to bring the total protein content up to around 50 grams of protein. Now there is quite a bit of carbs in the Greek yogurt, but like I said, the deal is, you're only really looking at carbs over the entire day. So if this has, like, let's say 12 grams of carbs in it, I believe is exactly, counting everything, the whey protein and the Greek yogurt, that's not really a whole lot. Now, if I had 12 grams or more of, carbs in, like, every meal, like 6 times a day, that would be, like 70, that would be like 72 grams of carbs, okay? So obviously you can't do that. But since I'm having like, eggs and egg whites, chicken with nothing, chicken with nothing, chicken with almonds, and then this, the little bit of carbs that you have here, the little bit of carbs you have in the almonds are actually not all that bad. And once again, I do the same thing. I also weigh the whey protein that I put in. You do not, okay, so first of all, I don't really trust scoops because I've shown this before in videos. You take a scoop when it's like, take a scoop of protein in the beginning, and then after it's been there for a while, it kind of settles a little bit. It's different, okay, because this is all weighed. This is not measured by volume. So you actually have to weigh the protein powder you put in. I do the same thing with creatine, glutamine when I take it. Okay, well, I'm not taking it right now, but when I take it. And another thing is, don't put in protein powder equal to the grams of protein that you want. So I want 25 grams of protein with this particular protein powder. That's about 31 grams of powder. So I got my 31 grams of powder, 25 grams of protein, bumps up the 227 grams of Greek yogurt to around 50 grams of protein. And I also like to have the Greek yogurt because it's a milk protein. It's like a slower digesting, slower acting protein. When I've been on other diets, I would like the anaerobics diet. Sometimes I'd have casein protein at night because it kind of like digests slowly. Whey protein digests really quickly, but when you combine it with the Greek yogurt, it doesn't really digest that quick. It kind of slows down the digestion. So anyway, here it is. Like I said, I mean, it tastes like pudding. I got, vanilla, ice cream flavored whey protein. The Greek yogurt has no flavor. The next one I have, I think, is strawberry or something like that. So basically, this is my nighttime meal. It's kind of cool to sit down if I'm going to watch like a YouTube video or watch, like a short little bit of TV or something before you go to bed at night. Kind of have this, pet the cat, brush the cat. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my fiber supplement. I always get crucified for this, but this is what I use right now. Okay, this is just sugar-free Metamucil. I've used sugar-free Walmart brand Psyllium husk. It's basically just Psyllium husk supplement. And so that's what I take at night, 25 grams worth of Psyllium husk. So I'm going to have this half an hour later, give this some time to digest, okay, because I don't want to have the Metamucil like interact with my digestion of this food. So I'm gonna go ahead and just eat this, and then, like I said, within an hour right before I go to bed, I'm just gonna drink my Metamucil, 25 grams, and then that's it for the day. So here we are. At the end of the day, it is 1,845 calories today. 291 grams of protein, which is about 66% of the calories, 29 grams of carbs, which is about 6%, and 56 grams of fat, which is 28%. So as you can see, I still got my protein high around 300 grams, but by lowering my fat considerably, like lowering my calories, and also since my body's already fat adapted, this is the concept behind the pure protein diet. Because my body's already fat adapted, by cutting down the amount of fat that I'm eating, my body is forced to like use stored fat for energy. Because even if you're fat adapted, if you're eating, just drinking, eating, whatever, so much fat from cheese, butter, cream, whatever, your body would prefer, it's more efficient to use the fat you eat or drink for energy than to use the fat in your body. So like, why bother? Let's keep this, for a rainy day when we don't have any food, and then we just, burn the fat that we eat for fuel. So by dramatically reducing the amount of fat that you eat, you dramatically increase the amount of fat on your body, stored fat that you burn. So that's the whole point to the pure protein diet. If you guys are interested in the pure protein diet, you need to go ahead and check out the Anaerobics Fraternity, theanaerobicsfraternity.com, link down below in the description. All my diets are in there, including the pure protein diet. And I'm also doing a couple things. First of all, I'm changing my diets over from just text, like ebook format, to video and text format. And I'm also putting in a lot of new videos, okay? So for instance, I just created a course that should be uploaded in the morning, which is all about getting fat adapted. It's like 7 videos in a row with text that basically just explains to you exactly how and why to get your body fat adapted. I'm going to have another one on whether you should cut or bulk. I'm going to have another one on how to determine your goal body weight. All these problems that people have outside of the diets, like things you have to have in place. Get fat adapted before you jump on the pure protein diet. Determine whether you have to cut or bulk before you decide what diet to go on. Determine your goal body weight before you decide what diet to go on. So all these problems that people have, I'm creating specific like mini courses to cover them right in the videos that I already have uploaded about the different diets, etc. So the Anaerobics Fraternity. If you guys like the video, have a question, just go ahead and ask the question, make a comment, whatever. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you haven't yet, click on that little bell icon so you actually get informed when I upload a new video. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.